right, welcome everybody to the live healing experience. I'm your host, Suju May. It's an honor to be here with you, and I know it's been a while. The last one I was looking back, it was April, and now we're at July. It just feels like the last 2 months kind of was a bit of a interesting time warp for me. So I was away in Australia for 7 of the weeks, and I was meant to be there for 5, and then I stayed for another 2. That's what the guidance was, and that was clear that I needed to be there longer. And it was quite an experience, although I'm not feeling equipped to share a lot of it with you right now, just because there was just so much that went on. And even coming back, there's so much that's been going on since the last week or so that I've been back. And right now, the global energies are they're going to continue to accelerate, but there's almost like an accelerated acceleration. And then there's an evolution of our evolution. Like our evolution is evolving. The direction we were heading is kind of shifting, not in a bad way, in a good way, but it's gonna create a little bit of a time warps for some people because you're kind of down, you're dancing between two timelines right now. We all are dancing between two timelines, two possible timelines to land on in more of on a collective level. You have an individual choice, but on a collective level, we're kind of dancing between these two timelines. And as we do that, there's always little shifts and tweaks and things going on in our experience of life, our experience of what we might consider reality. And we'll have these kind of oddities happen. That's really common right now because we're dancing between two timelines. When you decide and land on one or the other, and sometimes that choice isn't necessarily in a human consciousness level. This is on a soul consciousness level. When we actually finally land on the timeline that we're meant to be on, then we'll let go of this other one. In the meantime, it can be a little bit disorienting because you're kind of dancing between two. As the collective consciousness is changing right now and shifting right now, there are a lot of changes happening and will continue to happen. As you can see from what's going on around the world, there's a lot of upheaval. There's a lot of things coming to a head. It's almost like a big, ugly boil in some ways, just kind of bursting and breaking apart. There's a lot of people taking advantage of that for their own personal agenda in a last ditch attempt of out of balanced energies to kind of do what they want to do, take over, do something. Power, greed, power over people, that's kind of the agenda of it. And then there's this beautiful healing that's happening. So when you picture a big festering abscess or boil in the body is sending all of these resources to that area to heal it. So it looks messy, it looks ugly, it looks festering, it looks like it's oozing, but there's healing happening. So on some level, there's some deep healing happening, and it's messy. At the same time, if you focus on the messiness of the healing, or if you focus on fighting, fighting to be right, or fighting not to be wrong, same thing, just a different approach, you're going to get wound up in the mess of it, but also you're going to feed the fear. You're going to add fear to the fear that already exists. So then the question becomes, how can you meet the fear with love? Because if you meet fear with love, love expands. If you meet fear with fear, fear expands. Even if fear is disguised as caring, concern, worry, wanting to help when it's not guided, that's actually fear-based. It's disguised as love, but it's not pure divine love. What we really need to be doing is looking at how am I in alignment with love, with the guidance of my heart versus what I'm in my head thinking I should or shouldn't do, or the fight I want to be having up there. It's more about being in the heart and really getting clear about what role am I meant to play, if anything, directly. You may be playing more of an indirect role right now. And that can often be just even more powerful than playing a direct role. So don't undervalue or underestimate the power of any of the roles that we're meant to play right now. Just recognize that if there's something that you're guided and feeling inspired in your heart to do, then there's purpose to that. And I want you to follow that path, follow that nudge, follow that calling. That's why I stayed longer in Australia. It wasn't easy for my family for me to be away longer, but it was necessary. I felt it, like in every cell of my being, I knew I needed to stay longer. And every day I was there for 53 days, I went to the rock cliff, rain or shine. I talked about this in the Living Oneness gathering, so I won't go into too many details about my experience with the rain and the wind and all of that. But my sense is that I was creating momentum and I needed to keep the momentum going. I was creating and feeling and sensing results on a global scale, on a cosmic scale, and I needed to keep that going. In that location, there was a reason that location was a power spot that I needed to work with. Since I'm back in Canada, there's a power spot local nearby. I'm using a power spot that I created in my backyard. We were just out on our boat and I was celebrating my anniversary with my husband. And I found a power spot in the location we were on a small island. And that is just what's being called forth right now for me to show up and do these activations for harmony, unity, balance, peace, compassion, reverence for all of creation. That's my role. That's my work right now. That's my calling. And it shows up and it's in different things, but the activations are really important. And I woke up one morning, well, I think it was several mornings where it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I just felt like, okay, like do it now. So I'll just get up and do whatever I'm guided to do, whatever that looks like, in response to what the energies need. What is the energy of the collective calling from you? What is it asking of you? It may look like an individual choice. It may look like eating more cleanly. It may be drinking more water. It may be moving your body. It may be meditating. It may be maybe anything. It could be any number of things for you. But what is it for you? When I was in Australia, I wrote letters to my kids, my 2 children. They're adults now, but I still call them my kids. I wrote a letter to my husband. I wrote a letter to my siblings. Just the things I need them to know. This is what I need you to know. And it was for me to come to a place of just a reconciliation around my life and my experiences and my relationships, but also just to be radically honest with those individuals that are in my life that I care about, that I just needed them to know some things. In my relationships and in my experience while I was away, there was a death of a part of me, a death and letting go of a part of myself, my human self, a part of my ego self. My ego kind of disappeared. There was a sliver and it's gone now. It's like I the words I keep getting for maybe the next book is How to Be Human Without Ego. That's really where we're heading, is how do we be human without ego, the full dissolving of the ego. That's what's possible for all of us. And that's something I want to continue to teach and empower you all to be able to come to that place of living without fear, living without ego, without a persona or um, a preference in the background based on your past and or what your fear of the future will be or not be, or your desires and wants of the future. It's not about what we want anymore. It's about what's needed. what's needed for you, what's needed for me, what's needed for the collective, what's needed for all of humanity, all of creation. We'll go beyond global. I'm working cosmically all the time. So this is bigger than each of us individually, although each of us individually are included. You need to include yourself. You need to include your needs, what you need, not necessarily what you want, because what we want isn't always what we need. Sometimes what we need is what we want, but what we want isn't always what we need. So right now, the invitation is for you to really be aligned with what is needed right now, what is guided. And the guidance is coming from your heart, not from your head. The guidance is coming from a place of knowing what's necessary versus thinking about what you want or don't want. It's deeper than that, and it's serving on a grander scale than you can imagine. So where do we begin? We begin with clearing your field, clearing the clutter in your mind, healing any of the wounds that are leftovers, healing any leftovers, anything that you are triggered by. If you have a trigger, if you see something and you react to it, that's a trigger. That means something inside of you needs to heal. Or there's something inside of you that is meant to take some kind of action, and you're triggered by it because you're not getting the message that you're meant to take some kind of inspired action. But a trigger is pointing inward. And the ego would have you point outward and look at what the problem is out there. But if you feel that life is coming at you and something is bumping up against your leftovers, if you feel triggered, if you feel reactive, if you feel really emotionally charged about something, there's something you need to look at. Go within and heal those pieces, heal those layers, cry those tears, write those letters so that you can reconcile it all within you, so that you can bring all of the out of balanced energies within you into balance and harmony. That's the most important work you can do right now. And however that looks like on the outside is however it's going to look like. However that plays out is however it plays out, but the work is internal. It's inside out. We're going to heal inside out. And that has a ripple effect. Because if you're reacting and getting all excited about something that's happening on the outside, and you can't hold that state of peace within you, you can't hold your center, you get knocked off center, then just that knockoff center is contributing to the discordant energy on the outside. You're contributing to the out of balanced energies out there. So how do I balance? How do I center myself? What serves me? What are you doing that you know is not serving you anymore? What things are you doing that you know deep down that you need to stop? Whether it's a food you're eating, whether it's some relationship you have that you need to let go of, whether it's a behavior or a habit, whatever it is. What feels unresolved for you? What needs to be reconciled within your own heart and mind, within your own body, within your life? That's your work right now, because the next 6 months for this year is going to be accelerated even more. And the tolerance is going to be very, very low, and the sensitivities are going to be very, very high. Not in a bad way necessarily, but if you've got a bunch of leftovers you're dragging behind in your field, it's not going to be pleasant. So the more you can clear, lighten that load, process what you need to process. We're not bypassing anything, we're processing everything, honoring everything, moving through those emotions. Emotions just need sometimes a quick witness, an honoring, and then they're gone, they're cleared. It's just energy that needs to be processed. Sometimes you need to do a letter or journaling or something else. But it's on a moment to moment basis that you discern that. And the way you discern that is trusting your intuition. Now, the one thing I did discover when I was away was we'll call it a hybrid ego. I've only taught this to one other group, my mentoring group. The hybrid ego is a combination of your own ego, external interference coming into your field, like a virus on your computer, coming in and working in the background that you don't realize, your own imbalance around the ego, so your own fear-based stuff, and it's kind of hybrid and come together. There's another force of energy, which I'm not going to get you to tune into because I'm working on that. And the more you tune into it, the more it'll come into your field. There's another force of energy that comes down. It's a different source. The three together is called the hybrid. I'm calling the hybrid ego. That hybrid ego will act like your own ego. It'll sound like your own ego. It'll feel like your own ego, but it'll have this subtle difference of energy. It'll have this there's almost like a little bit of salt where there shouldn't be salt. It's so subtle. But when you clear it, when you really release it, you'll feel some relief. You'll feel like, oh, okay, that didn't belong there. And it's only in the absence of it that we realize how it was actually impacting us. So as I walk you through a process today, we're going to clear the hybrid ego. We're going to create a pathway in the body that amplifies your field in a different way. And then we're just going to sweep the field and do some other things. And I'm just going to give you as much information as you can. This is probably one I'm going to keep active for you guys to continue to come back to, especially for the next 6 months, because whatever I'm going to walk you through today is going to empower you to be able to have a sense of that your own sovereign space. You need your own sovereign space. You need your energy field to remain clear. You need your physical body to remain clear, and you need your head and your brain to remain clear. And then you need to get out of the head and work with the heart. But if the head and the brain has stuff going on that's not clear, then you're not going to be able to trust your intuition because there's going to be a filter in place or a block in place. So let's see where we go today. I'm going to kind of blend a bunch of different things. So Marian, what do you mean by keep active? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. Sorry, Marian. But basically what I'm saying is you want to keep your field clear. And this light and illumination process that I'm going to teach you today will help you keep that field clear, but it'll also make you very aware of when things come into your field, when things aren't welcome. Yes, I'll keep the replay up. That's what I mean. Okay. All right. So before you close your eyes, I want to show you something with my hand so you can see it. So just watch the video for a moment. In between the right and left brain, there's a membrane. And there's layers of dura, but in the one area is a membrane, the one layer, and it's called the Falx membrane, F-A-L-X. You don't have to write that down, but just giving you the idea of how to spell it, because it's a funny word. Falx membrane. So it's a membrane that actually separates the right and left hemisphere of the brain. And the corpus callosum is how it communicates right to left side. But the membrane is the separation between the right and left hemisphere of the brain. The Falx membrane is a transmitter and a receiver as well. So we receive information and we emit and send signals out as well through that membrane. That membrane is connected to the third eye, and it's also connected to our crown chakra, the top of the head and above. I remember we talked about the crown chakra floating above our head, so it's not on our head. I keep it suspended up so we have more space in the first 7 layers of the energy field. With this Falx membrane, this main source of interference, I'll call it, is coming down and actually coming into the Falx membrane. And everybody I've tuned into, 90%, 99% of people it's in there. So we're going to clear it out, and I'm going to empower you to be able to keep it clear. So the falx membrane is this membrane that separates right to left. So I always visualize it like a sail or a big, those fans that collapse and you can open up the fan and give yourself some air. It's like that. Right between the right and left hemisphere, it's a fan. So I always look at it like a fan that runs to the front to the back, or a sail on a sailboat. You can imagine it as a sail. And we're going to light that sail up, and then I'll take the pathway and I'll show you how to light it up. But that's the one image I just need you to see, is this image of the sail between your right and left brain. Okay. Have you close your eyes, sink in, take some deep breaths. And I want you to notice how you feel at this moment. This is you doing a little bit of a scan. Say, let's doing a scan of your computer. You scan the computer and you can get a sense for what's in your field, what's in the body, what's in the mind and the brain. Just kind of take a moment to just to check in and notice. And sometimes we need to really become, well, more and more now, we need to become very aware of the subtler levels of energy. Because before, these interference energies would come in really with a strong force and for the most part would become obvious. Now they're getting more clever, they're evolving themselves because we're becoming more aware, and they're becoming more subtle. So it's like having a really cleverly hidden virus in the back of your computer, or some malware running in the background of the computer, and you don't know that it's there. When I did this with my husband, he's not intuitive in the way of spiritual, I say. He's very intuitive, but he doesn't use spiritual language. He doesn't. So I had to like teach him this in a way that he'd be receptive, because I could feel that it was in his field and I wanted him to feel it. So then when I cleared it and helped him understand it, he said, "Oh, I feel calmer." I said, "Okay." And I said, "How was that experience?" He's like, he was saying it was kind of like running ad blocker in his brain. And I'm like, yeah, that's about it. So I'll use whatever language works for that individual. So use whatever language works for you. So take a couple deep breaths and let's tune into the membrane between the right and left side of your brain, right in the middle. And it runs from the forehead all the way back to the base of the skull, back of the brain, onto the occiput. And if you don't know the anatomy, that's okay. Don't let that be a blocker for you. And imagine that beautiful membrane between the right and left hemisphere. Imagine you could light it up from the bottom and illuminate it on both sides, front all the way to the back. And then imagine that sail actually lifting up outside the boundary of your physical skull, and that light coming up and filling the whole top of the head, from the forehead all the way to the back of the skull. So you have this beautiful sail. And we're going to, I'm going to encourage the energy, out of balanced energies, to be pushed up and out. And you can do the same. So I'm going to come from below some energy and I'm going to push it up and out. And you just allow and receive. And we're going to push it up and out through the sail and shoot it out through the top of your energy field. We don't want that energy in there. It's an energy that's not yours. It's like a virus that doesn't belong. There we go. And when we clear it, you might feel all of a sudden something shift. It may be a subtle shift. You might feel like, oh, there was just a little niggling that left. Or you might feel a really heaviness that lifted off. So what you're doing is setting an intention and saying, yes, I do not wish to have this in my field anymore. It must leave, and it must leave now. There we go. Now, I often say sail to tail. So we're going to lift the sail, but I want the light of the sail to continue to go down the spine. So you might imagine that sail illuminating the spine all the way down to your tailbone. So we're creating a circuit of energy and light that runs from the forehead across the top of the head, the back of the head, down the back of the neck, down the spine, between the shoulder blades, all the way down the spine to the sacrum, and then down to your tailbone. Feel it and imagine it, even if you can't visualize and see it, just imagine this sail to tail. You have this illuminated light, this sacred light coming even from the sacrum, because the sacrum is a sacred bone, and it illuminates from the inside. And we're going to fill the pelvic bowl with a beautiful light, the whole pelvis, pelvic floor. And imagine the floor of the pelvis, this kind of light connection from the tailbone in the back to the front of the pelvis. So you've got this beautiful light all the way down your spine, across the floor of the pelvis. Now it's going to start to run up the body from the pubic bone, up, crossing the navel, crossing the solar plexus, down the sternum, through the sternum, center of your chest, front of the neck to your chin, over the nose, all the way to your forehead again. So sail to tail, and then all the way up the front of the body, you have this light. And this light is pure. It's source light. It's pure, it's balanced, harmonized, clean, clear. Take some deep breaths. Now imagine this light is purifying, and it acts like a bit of a firewall in the sense of only allows pure energies in, harmonized balances energy in, and holds the energies harmonized and balanced. So nothing that doesn't belong can enter through the Folks membrane, all the way down the spine and all the way up through the front of the body. Now you can imagine that light so illuminated that it resonates and radiates out through the front and out through the back and then around the body as well, and above and below. So it starts to radiate and fill the energy field with a pure light, a purifying light, burning off any discordant energy, burning off or balancing and transmuting any discordant energy, bringing into harmony and flowing, get the flow going through the body and around the body. Now we're going to scan from the bottom of the energy field. And what I'm going to do is you can imagine a beautiful scan of light, like a laser beam, but that laser beam isn't just a straight beam, it's a line that goes from the right to the left of your energy field. So you've got a big bubble around you, which is your energy field, about an arm's length in all directions. And if it's out further, bring it in closer so that it's an arm's length. So you bring your energy field in so you can manage it, so that you can actually do that energetic hygiene and make sure you're doing the maintenance on your field. If your field is too expanded out all the time, it's harder to keep it clean. It's harder to keep it purified. So imagine this beam of light, and it's going to come up from the bottom through the energy field, and it's going to gather any remnants or aspects of the hybrid ego. The hybrid ego, remember, is a combination of this force that we just cleared, the external interference on different levels, and your own ego. You don't need it. It's not something that is going to serve you. It's actually only there to hold you back, keep you stuck, or make you confused, question, doubt yourself. So we're going to lift it out. If you're willing to say yes, thank you, and you're going to participate as well, as I'm going to support the energy in lifting it. So we're lifting it out. A lot of it's hidden in the back. Some of it's hidden in the back of the heart space. Some of it's hidden in the back of the skull and in through the brain as well. So we're lifting it up and out through the top, through that falx membrane, all the way out through the top of the field, all the way out, and it gets eliminated or transmuted. That energy is shifted as it leaves the field. It's dissipated, separated out, and it no longer has power over you. If you agree with that, yes, thank you. There we go. A little bit more left when you guys participated in and really sat in that heart declaration of that truth for you. A little bit in the front of the third eye for some of you. So just a little bit more lifting through the front, using that sail to really shoot it up and out. And then bring that central channel online. If it's not already, that channel running right along through the center of your body. It's in front of the spine, along the spine, and it's a central channel that runs up, or you can clear stuff down and out as well. So it can go in either direction. But I want you to imagine it as a beautiful pathway, a pathway of light. And it's got a really strong light, really strong power energy, purifying energy. And it can shoot things up and out or clear them down and out. And then just notice how you feel now. You may feel lighter, you may feel more clear, you may feel like a fog was lifted, or you may feel just a subtle kind of difference, or you might feel no difference at all, and that's okay too. Just know that something shifted and something cleared your field, and that's good. Some of you may be aware of it, some of you may not. You don't have to judge or even doubt that. Just trust that it's done. If you feel something coming back in, it's oftentimes you'll feel it almost like a pressure on the top of your head, like something's trying to get in there, or something's trying to sit on the top of your energy field or the top of your head. The moment you feel that, light up that sail, lift it up, light it up as bright as you can, illuminate it all the way around the back and along the front, all the way to the top again. That circuit of light is a very powerful circuit. There we go. And then the sacred Brahma in the third eye, we're just going to illuminate and activate it. If you're willing to say yes, thank you. And just imagine it lighting up right in the center, in and around the pineal gland. A beautiful light source point that comes and radiates out like the beams and the radiance like light of the sun. Really, really bright, burning off any other discordant energy. And then we're going to invite a balance and activate the whole brain. So from this point, we're going to activate the three glands. So there's the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the thalamus gland in the brain. So we're going to activate 1, 2, 3. Like a triangle, it's lit up there. And there we go. That helps to activate that corpus callosum and allows the right and left brain to communicate more efficiently with each other and be used in a way that can support you. And the right and left brain can be very supportive to the heart. The heart actually has neurons in it, and they're called sensory neurites. So the heart has the capacity to think, to know, and to feel. We don't need the brain to think about things. We can use the brain in a way to support the knowing in the heart, the thoughts that come from the heart. But we don't need to sit there and question and think about things. This is the direction we're heading. We're going to be more heart-based. And the physical brain, the human brain, is going to be used differently moving forward. The ego loves to camp out on the left side of the brain. So be aware of that. There's a left brain loop over there I call the amusement park. And the amusement park is all fear and loops that keep us spinning and going back, trying on old things, old traumas, old patterns, old habits. Your invitation is to leave the amusement park altogether. The amusement park is always going to be there until it's not, so you just don't need to go into it. So take a step off the ride, off the left brain loop, out of the amusement park. There we go. And then take your one finger, doesn't matter which one, and you're going to start in the center of your forehead. And you can just press there, just give a little press point, touching in on the third eye point at the front. And then let your finger come off the forehead and start to draw a infinity sign, just in the air, right to left side, balancing right to left brain, activating the whole brain. And this is more on the plane that goes right to left. And now I'm going to invite you to stop in the center. You can touch that point again if you like. This time the infinity sign is going to go up and down. So top of the brain to the bottom of the brain. So you're kind of on your forehead and above, and through your face is part of the infinity sign. So we're balancing top to bottom. And then come to the very top of your head and place your finger at the very top of your head, center of the top of the skull. Lift your finger off so that it's not touching anymore, and then draw an infinity sign from front to back, forehead to the back of the skull, balancing on that plane as well. So we got front, back, we did top, bottom, and we did right to left. And then release it. And you might find that sometimes when you're doing that exercise on the infinity sign, you're going in one direction, you kind of feel like you want to go in the opposite direction. You could do that. You could do 3 in one direction, 3 in the other direction on all three of those planes. Take some deep breaths and just notice how you feel in the head, in the brain, in the energy field around your head, through your neck, even along your spine. Keep that Fulks membrane lit up, sail to tail, and all the way up and around. Now imagine that energy field all the way around you in all directions. You got this beautiful bubble around you, and that 40th layer of the energy field is the oneness layer. This is the layer where we can connect to everything and it not negatively impact our own individual energy fields. We are a unique expression of the divine, of source. We are meant to have a unique experience here as a unique expression of source. So our energy field is purposeful. The 40th layer is where we connect to oneness. That's where we're connected to all of creation. So in that 40th layer right now, just go to the edge of your energy field. Even if you don't know, just set an intention to go to the edge of your energy field. And we're going to ground in all directions. This is omnidirectional grounding. You're going to ground in all directions into the field of oneness, into the unified field, or you can call it the quantum field, or ground into the energy of God or source, spirit, whatever it is that your faith or your beliefs are helpful to imagine and to align with. But essentially, what you're doing is connecting to all of creation in that outer layer, honoring that the layers between from the 40th layer in are actually your sovereign space. This is your sovereign space. This is your free space. Means it's free of interference on the outside interference. It's free of anything that's discordant, any energies that are not yours, any energy cords or any kind of energy darts or anything else that's any implants or embedded seeds. They all can be burned off and cleared. Sometimes we need a little help clearing them if there's a reason, if there's part of our ego or part of us that are holding on to these things, they may not clear. But right now, just anything that can clear, just let it. Let it be burned off. Let it be cleared. Let it clear and go. Take some deep breaths. And stay in that attitude and energy of gratitude. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Appreciation, gratitude. And we're not pushing things out with an anger. We're not pushing things out with like forcing and kicking things out of our field. It's like, oh, you don't belong here. It's time for you to leave. It's time to go. Off you go. Stay as neutral as you can or stay as loving as you can. And then the back of the body, I'm just feeling a lot of congestion at the back. So focus in on the back, amplify the field in the back. Have that light come from your center source point, from your heart, radiating backwards and out. Or you can even imagine that falx membrane down between, going all the way down your spine and spreading out and really radiating backwards. You might even imagine your wings spreading out and lighting up as well. Imagine wings at your shoulder blades. You might see beautiful dragon wings, or you might feel angel wings. Just let them spread out, light up, amplify behind and around you. I just get this image of just a bird in flight. So feel that freedom to fly, that freedom to soar, that freedom to be you. You're free to be me. Say, I'm free to be me. And just really claim that, own that. Your unique expression of divinity is you. You're the me that source expresses through. Honor the me, honor you. Not the me with the ego, the true version of the I am me, the I am. There we go. Letting some energy move through the back, all the way down the spine and out. Take some deep breaths. Just notice how you feel now compared to when we began. Find some words that can capture how you're feeling. And then make that note, make note of them. Really appreciate how you feel so that you can be reminded to come back to this replay and go, oh, yes, I'm going to do that again this time. And you may feel something different each time. You may have a different shift, but just recognize that anytime you feel like you need to get this centered, grounded reconnection to your Volk's membrane, that sail to tail, really activating your field so that it's full of this energy that can keep it clear. So you have this firewall in place, this beautiful energy that burns off any discordant energy, burns off anything that doesn't belong. And you feel that connection to your oneness. You feel that connection to everything. And at the same time, you honor this beautiful expression of you, this beautiful expression of source that is you. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. And it's not necessarily a purpose you need to chase or find. It's a feeling of being on purpose. When I found the power spot on the weekend on this beautiful island in the ocean, I was looking out at the ocean and I could feel the purpose of my connection with all of nature, with all the animal kingdom, with the water, with all the elements. And it moved me in a way that I could feel a deep emotional connection. And I could feel the sense of purpose. And I could also feel that there were others that were meant to do the same, that there are others that are meant to connect to Mother Earth, to creation, to Source, and do your own type of activation or ceremony or ritual of reverence for all of creation. And maybe it's for yourself, a ritual that will serve you in staying in alignment. Taking some more deep breaths. And exhale. And then see if you can bring your awareness back to the space you're in, honoring the feeling you have, the connection you have. Because as soon as we start to bring our limited senses, the five senses, back into the equation, often our brain comes online in a different way. So the invitation is to keep the brain activated, that whole brain activation. Keep the Volk's membrane, sail to tail, lit up. Stay centered in the heart with your awareness and your consciousness. So that spotlight of awareness, you're looking at the life through the lens of the heart versus through the lens of the brain and the limited mind. Slowly bring your awareness back to your space and see if you can open your eyes and stay connected to what we've just created a connection to. And if something shifts, that's okay. Don't judge it. Don't get all frustrated by it. Just notice it, observe it, be curious about it. This is a new essential practice that I'm going to encourage you to do every day. You could do it first thing in the morning and before bed again. You don't have to listen to the replay to do it, but the first couple times you might want to, so it reminds you of how to do it, and then you'll find your own way to do it. And right now, I don't have to go through that whole process. I just go sail to tail, boom, and it's done and it's in place. So eventually you'll just be able to activate it really quickly, or eventually it'll just stay activated. And then you might just notice something shift and go, oh, I have something just happened, or I had an experience that changed my field. So then you'll just do some maintenance on it. But in the beginning, it might be like brushing your teeth. You gotta keep brushing your teeth every day. So keep that in mind. Keep that in your heart. All right. If you feel inspired to share, I see some of you are already sharing. Feel free. I'd love to hear how you feel now compared to how you felt before. I'm saying beautiful, feel lighter and clearer, especially my back. Good. Brenda, so refreshing, clearing, reconnecting to source. We'll definitely revisit. Terry, I feel more grounded through my center. I felt a release as well. Beautiful. Feeling lighter, Anna. Feel like I shifted mountains, Marion. Nice. I feel so light. Good. That's it. And this source of interference, this interesting one that I'm working with, ultimately will be dealt with, but it has a greater impact than you realize. So I'd be really curious to see how everybody feels when you keep doing this. Make it a daily practice. If you need to write an infinity sign on your mirror of your bathroom or a sticky note of like sail to tail, whatever you need to do to help you stay aligned. And yes, I'm seeing everybody, infinity symbol is so powerful. The brain one, we did it in 3 directions. So right to left, front to back. You can do it this way, front to back if you like, and then up, top to bottom. And you can do it this way if you want, top to bottom. So those 3 directions is helpful. And you can do the infinity sign on the brain. You can do it in the heart space. You can do it in your pelvis. You could do it on any organ you like. But really what you're doing is helping improve the electromagnetic conductivity as well as flowing energy, moving energy. And it helps to bring in that cohesive feeling in whatever organ or whatever area you're bringing in. But right left brain, I found that it's really effective, and for the Folks membrane to really integrate in the whole brain activation, I find that the infinity sign is really helpful. All right, so I'm going to open it up for if there's something that you have a question about. We'll do a few intuitive readings. If there's something that you're feeling you need some support around, I'm going to have you guys write it in the chat instead of I'm not going to unmute people because we only have 8 minutes left. So I'm just going to, if you write in the chat, if there's a question you have, can you check in on my hip? Can you tune into, how to, whatever, if you have a question about like, whatever it is, that would be helpful. And then just go, Sheila, can you check in on my heart? So as soon as I went to your heart in the front, there is a density. It's actually not the physical heart on the left. It's in the center of your chest and toward the left side. It is impacting the physical heart at the front. So I can feel like there's almost, I don't know if you're having palpitations or anything like that, but there's definitely an impact on the front of the physical heart on the left. But in the center of your chest, just off the side of the sternum to the left, there's a space there that needs to be addressed. It's a dense energy, probably about the size of a walnut. And you could try stirring it in to the central channel and then shooting it up and out, because it feels like it has some interference, but it's also connected to some stuff that you're processing. So you need to process it first before it can go all the way out. So hopefully that will help. My heart still feels heavy. Yeah, so that makes sense. That's what's going on. So. Okay, let me just see. Dawn, best energy path. Please, best energy path. If you get something. Best energy path. I'm not sure what you're asking, Dawn. But if I just tune into whatever I'm hearing. The feeling for you right now is there's the central channel is kind of the best energy path to clear things up or down. but the energy has an innate intelligence. So if you actually allow it, usually the words I use is let it be released in the the easiest path, or the path of least resistance are the words I like to use. Let this energy be released in the path of least resistance. So whether it goes up or down the central channel or clears out to the side or out a little out the side or around like little mice leaving an area, it just let it go in whatever direction. That's the feeling I have for you, Dawn, with that. But that could be because I'm tuning into everybody's energy as well. Edith, your shoulder. You need neurovascular release on the shoulder, Edith. There's some neurovascular binding, actually, both shoulders and your neck. So if you do the neurovascular release in the neck and the chest, see if it actually helps release the shoulders. There's actual neurovascular release techniques for the shoulder I could teach you. So that would be a private session, but that's what I'm getting for you. It's neurovascular right now is where it's binding up. That's why you're not having it. That's why you can't heal it fully. The body's still protecting. Julie, tingling. I need this interference in a visible way in my life. Well, that's what you're feeling. Good. Beautiful. Terry, left breast and bladder. It's interesting you pointed to both those places, because as soon as I go to both those places, there is a line that connects the bladder to the left breast, but also the left kidney. There's a triangle of energy connecting those three. When I go into the kidney on the left, it seems to be the place that would unravel the other two. So if you go to the energy in the kidney first and see if you can resolve that, the other two will have a better time in unraveling. If you're focusing on the breast alone, or even the breast and the bladder, you won't unravel it. The pattern is three-way. You have to go through the kidney first to unravel the other two. Brenda, migraine headaches and pressure behind my eyes lately. There's a pressure in your head. There's something that you're needing to see to heal, but there's resistance. That's part of it. But the other part I'm getting, there's some seed oil as well, removing some seed oil in your diet that's coming in. And then the other thing I'm feeling is the space behind the eyes, both eyes actually, again, just a neurovascularly, they feel like they are strained and protected, holding back, like pressure behind the eyes is the feeling I keep getting. So there's a few things playing into that, Brenda. I hope that helps. But the the pressure behind the eyes is connected to what you're not wanting to see and heal, but it's something you need to heal in order to clear the rest of the pieces. And then there's some neurovascular protection. You're protecting, the body is protecting and created some collagen, built up collagen around the back of the eyes and the back of the skull, the occiput. So it's kind of holding patterns that are continuing to create more of a referral pain in the migraine headaches. That's what I'm getting right now. Andrea, for your skin, I feel like there's two things. I feel like one, there's a bit of a detox trying, the body's trying to push things through the skin, but you're not letting it. That's the words I'm getting, is like you're resisting the body releasing things through the skin. So I don't know, maybe there's something you're putting on your skin that's actually blocking it from getting out, but there's some level of resistance that you're blocking it, more subconscious, and there may be something you're putting on your skin that's not allowing the release through the skin. I'm also being drawn to your digestion, and it feels like a microbiome imbalance and some histamine reactive energies there. So you're kind of having these histamine reactions in the guts and the digestion, and that's translating into the skin. So I don't know if you're getting like areas of eczema or whatever. I'm just seeing these little pockets of itchy places on the skin that might be reacting to that. But it feels like digestion. I'd go to the microbiome. That's where I'm being pointed. Okay. Let me just tune in one moment. I'm gonna shift into just a checking in for everyone right now for a message because we're just at the top of the hour. So take a deep breath. Remember that omnidirectional grounding. The message I'm getting is you don't need to heal everything all at once, and you can heal a lot of things all at once. What we're able to heal now is we're in this state of like quickening and an acceleration. So we could actually heal more than ever before in a very short period of time. So even coming back to this replay and doing it again, you could hold 5 things. You could hold the skin. You can hold these things in your awareness and go, I want to heal these pieces and or reveal what I need to know or understand in order to heal these pieces. So you actually can be more empowered to do this. So the healer in all of us is being more activated. And even if you don't consider yourself a healer, you're a healer. We're all healers because we all have the capacity to heal ourselves and we all have the capacity to be a healing presence for others. Some of us will play a role as a healer and show up in the world doing that, but we are all healers. I need you to really understand that. And you have the capacity to heal yourself. When I point to things for you, you can heal those things on your own. Or you may be guided to individuals that can support you in healing those things. So for some of you, you may end up seeing a naturopath or actually booking an appointment with a healer or somebody or a practitioner. But just know that inside of you, you have the capacity to heal anything that is meant to be healed. So trusting your intuition, trusting your heart to guide you and lead you and direct you. It will give you the breadcrumbs you need. Sometimes you'll see one practitioner, they'll give you one piece and it'll unravel it all for you. Or they'll give you a piece of the puzzle and you'll go on and be able to do the work yourself, or you'll work with somebody else. Trust your intuition more than anything else right now. If you can work on one thing, it would be trusting your guidance, trusting your intuition, letting your heart lead you, guide you. And just know that you are a healer and you have the capacity to heal yourself. And your mind is very powerful. That's why we're getting you into that whole brain activation. There's a whole other level. I'll be teaching this in a course coming up soon, but there's a whole other level of capacity that we can access using our brain in a way that will support us to heal, not hold us back, not make us feel less than, and not make us feel helpless or incapable, because you're more capable than you realize. And your ability to heal yourself is at your fingertips. It's not in your head. The block might be in your head, but your ability is there. So trust that. Trust yourself. And in the meantime, if you need to borrow my faith, then you can borrow my faith, because I know without a shadow of doubt that all of you are powerful healers and you can heal yourself and you will heal yourself. It is already happening. It is, in some ways, it is already done. Thank you all for being here. If some of you do need support, I don't have any private sessions, but if you're really stuck with something, you can reach out for a private. I don't have any on my website right now because of my schedule and what's happening with me. Everything is changing. My work is changing. Everything's shifting. But if you're feeling stuck and you feel clearly guided that you're meant to work with me for a one-on-one, if you need support, reach out. Otherwise, trust that you got this. Come back to this replay, come back to the other resources. The Living Oneness gatherings are great. There's so many resources there for you. Don't get bombarded by them. Be guided by them. Be guided to them. Don't listen to the same ones over and over again unless you're guided to listen to the same one over and over again. That's it. Just follow your guidance. That's the simplest thing to do. Not always the easiest thing. All right. I love you all. I appreciate you. I honor you. I see you. I believe in you. I have complete faith in you. Until next time, love and blessings.